Who remembers those Tootsie Pop commercials with the owl? Little blast from the past from my childhood. Anyway, we've got a couple racks to look at this week. I'm going to show two racks. They're consecutive racks. And in both of them, the rack is pretty clustered after the break shot. And the question is, how long does it take to get a rack open? Sometimes it can seem like a really daunting task, almost impossible. But I'm going to give you the answer right now. It's 1 to 4 shots. That's it. As a straight pool players, we got to be optimistic and not look at a really clustered rack and think, oh my goodness, how am I ever going to get through this? It often takes only 1 or 2 shots, at most 4 shots, to open it up. And these two racks are good examples of that. This was taken during a very recent high run attempt session where I wasn't playing very well. And I kind of quit early because I wasn't shooting very disciplined. But I missed a shot between these racks because of that. But the example holds. How quickly can you get a rack open? Let's take a look. You're often going to get clustered racks with a break shot such as this one, low percentage break shot. With this one, I'm trying to drive straight through the cue ball with left English. You want to hit real close to center so the cue ball doesn't loop wide, which is what I accomplish here. Now, you're usually not going to get very many balls open, and I really only got 1 ball open, but this is typical. Cue ball comes over here, and you get some type of a shot in the side pocket. Now, I'll talk about this during the live stream. I think I'll just narrate. If I'm playing a match in a tournament, I'm going to shoot the 2 in the side. Yeah, I'm talking about it now. And I'm going to follow the cue ball forward and trying to get the cue ball right up here because the 1 ball's not cuttable. So I'm going to play safe, in other words. But this is a high run attempt, so I'm going to go for it. I don't have a follow-up shot after shooting this 2 ball other than the 15 ball bank shot in the side, which is what I'm going to shoot. Now, you could hold the cue ball right here and try and super thin cut the 15 right here. I don't want to do that. Yeah, so I've already called the bank shot. Bank shot like this, it's all about feel. We can calculate where the correct aim point is, but that's on a medium shot, and I'm hitting this hard. So you're going to see this bank I'm going to probably bank it kind of wide like to here, because the speed is going to shorten it up. This is all about a feel of the speed. And so great shot. And so the question was, how many shots does it take to open up a clustered rack? And the answer in this rack is 2. So that's a real important lesson to keep in mind. Now, it didn't have to open up this well, but you're going to find very often 1 or 2 shots, at most 4, and you're going to get an open rack. This is what I would call a textbook rack. It's ideal. And that's amazing because I was nowhere before that bank shot. And now it's textbook. Why do I say textbook? Number 1, all my balls are down table. Super easy. That's ideal situation. In fact, all the balls are below the third diamond. So this is a great situation. Secondly, they're all wide open. The only 2 balls close to each other are these, but both of those balls go here. So that's one of the things I'm noticing. So one of these balls is likely to be a key ball to get me on those. So we're not worried about opening these up. These are not a problem. I've got 2 potential break balls, the 7 and the 8. I don't have any key balls above them. And so I'm thinking about key balls. The 3 is the best key ball. It's a pivot ball. I've talked about that in recent racks of the week. It's right in the center of the table. Those are your pivot balls. Imagine if all the balls were gone except for the 2 break balls and the 3. If you got a straight in stop shot on the 7, you have the perfect angle on the 3 to slide up here for the break shot on the 8. Conversely, if you have a straight in shot on the 8, which not coincidentally could be the exact same spot as a straight in shot on the 7, you can stop the cue ball here, shoot the 3, and slide up here for the 7 ball break shot. So this is really ideal for that reason. So when you're doing your rack analysis here, you need to see these patterns. I do not want to shoot those balls. This is a blocker ball, blocks this 11 from going in the corner, and the 6 ball blocks these 2 balls. So, rack analysis. What's the key to this rack? It's these 2 balls. The 6 and the 11. That is what is on my mind. This is what you need to deal with immediately. So how do I want to do that? I notice what I want to do immediately right here. I've got the easiest shot helps because I'm going to shoot the 4 and I want to draw back a little bit to get on the 6. To get on the 8 because that gives me position on the 6. And from the 6, I can cut this in without disturbing any other balls. Probably, I'm not sure what, probably come back over here. Something like that. But anyway, that's what I'm thinking about doing. Let's go ahead and play. So this is what I'll sometimes refer to as a 3-shot sequence, 2-shot or 3-shot sequence. 4, one ball gets you on another to get you to the trouble ball. So now I'm looking at the 6, and where am I going to send the cue ball on the 6? Actually, I'm looking at the 8, and it's more of a cut shot than it looks like. The 1 ball does not pass the 6. I can't hold the cue ball here for the 6, and I can't go to the rail because in order to get an angle on the 6, I got to bring the cue ball all the way over here. So that doesn't work. So now I'm disappointed. I'm like, what am I going to do? Obviously, if I shoot the 8, the 7's the break ball. I prefer the 7 as a break ball as a right-hander because I'm on the right side of the table. And I struggle with this, and I'm looking and thinking, and how am I going to get onto the 13 ball? And finally, it occurs to me, shoot the 7. You don't have to be committed to this 8 ball. You don't have to be committed to the 7 as a break shot. You can break the rack with the 8. So I finally realized that, and so I invent a new 3-shot sequence, realizing that if I'm going to preserve the 8, it's the 13 that can get me over here on the 6. How do I get on the 13?
Night and day.
Either the 7 or the 14. Gets me. I've got to find this window between the 5 and the 3 to get on the 13, and these balls are in a position to do that. So I'm still looking. I haven't seen it yet, but what I'm going to do is shoot the 7, go to the rail and out for the 14. 3-ball sequence, 7, 14, 13. The 14 is going to make it very easy for me to find this window to bring the cue, shoot the 13 and get the cue ball over here to get on the 6 ball.
All right, that's what we're going to do.
Okay, I finally see it. Now, I've got a bit of a cut on this 7, but I can use inside English. This is low inside. You don't want to use straight or outside because your cue ball is going to come way over here and give you too much angle. Right English on that. Inside English kills the speed of the cue ball on the rail and kind of straightens it out so I can stay pretty straight. So I just came over and looked. I've got this angle for the window on the 13. That's a very controllable shot. Notice I'm running this one. Once the balls are open, I don't want to bump into any balls. I am going to bump into 1 ball here, and it's necessary because I've got so much of an angle on this 13 that the cue ball is going to go flying, and I'm using the 1 to stop the cue ball. And I probably don't want to hit the 12 because you could knock it up table and the cue ball could go behind the 1, and you don't want that. So I'm going into the 1. This could go wrong, but I'm trying to just stop the cue ball on the 1. You know, in some days that cue ball is going to roll a little farther and park itself right behind the 12 where you just have no shot at all. But in this case, it worked out. Now, I should be looking at an end pattern, and I'll pause this for a second, talk about it real quick. Can you see an end pattern here? The 1 ball looks like it'd be a real good key ball for that 8-ball break shot. The problem is, if you're going to shoot it in the side pocket, you need a ball over here or over here. You need a K2 to set up for it. We don't have that. So that negates the 1 as a key ball for me immediately. I'm going to incorporate the 1 into my pattern earlier. So I need to set up for these balls. One of these balls into this pocket, which I could do right now. I could shoot the 6 and simply slide over here. But the 11 is a little bit trapped, and it can also be stop shot on the 11 also gets you on these balls. And I think that's what I choose to do. And part of the reason being, so what I'm going to do is shoot the 6 and draw the cue ball up this way, I believe. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay, I remember now. I was considering both of those things. I'll just let it play. And then I realized, no, I need to get on those 2 balls, the 5 and the 10, And I can do it right now. Just follow this way. Now, again, you can get trapped. You can go too far and end up over here. So you got to play this with some care. But I had the 3 ball as a stopper to stop the cue ball here. So that's a really reasonable shot. And now I can play position for the 11 and the 1 at the same time. A lot of people at this point, I think, are going to shoot what looks obvious is the 11 because a stop shot gets you on the 10. And then from the 10, you can use the 3 to get on the 1, and then you shoot this ball and bounce out for your break shot. I don't like this 12 over on the rail as a key ball. I don't like those rail bounce outs for some reason. I just find them a little distasteful. If you remembered at the beginning of this rack, I mentioned the 3 ball as a pivot ball. So here's the shot line to the 3. As long as I can get my cue ball below that shot line, I've got to pivot ball. I can, if I'm close to the shot line, I can simply stun up here for the 8-ball break shot. And if I have a little bit more angle, I can just go to the rail and out. And I think that's a way more controllable shot. If you're shooting the 12, you're stunning the cue ball off the rail. But when you're shooting the 3, you're rolling the cue ball forward. Way easier to control. So how do I get the cue ball over here on the 3? This angle on this 10 in the corner is very easy, again, to roll the cue ball right over here where you need it. So recognize this, pivot ball and key ball for the pivot ball. So it's for that reason that I'm going to shoot the 11 and draw back for the 1. Because I can get position on this 1. I'd like to get straight in, but I know that there's a variety of ways to go from the 1 to the 12. And I'm telling that cue ball to slow down because I almost came too far, but not bad. Just roll forward. And now look at the pattern. We want every ball in our end pattern to lead naturally to the other. So from this ball, leads naturally, natural, natural. Boom. Look how minimal cue ball movement to get from each ball to the next. That's what we want for our end patterns. And that's why I like the route that I chose in this particular rack. A little bit of inside English, just get the cue ball below the 8, and I'm going to be below the shot line for the 10 into the corner pocket to get that angle on the 3, and I'm taking a look at it. Here's where I want to hit the rail. So that when I come off the rail, I've got the angle I need on the 3. As it is, I've got a little bit more angle than I want to stun it, so there we go. Let's see if the cue ball stops here. That's where I want the cue ball. Visualize that. Just roll the cue ball forward off the rail up to that spot. Ooh, oh, went a little bit past it, but pretty good. Still a really good break shot. Now, as I said, this is towards the end of a session last week, and I just wasn't playing very focused, and I was playing too aggressively, and I'm going to do that on this shot. I look at this, and I'm like, I'm not going to control the cue ball. I'm just going to do a Thorsten Homan. I'm just going to draw the cue ball to the head rail, try and smash these wide open. Not necessarily the best shot, but if you're going for a high run attempt, I mean, I like aggressive because you're just trying to open the balls. Now, did you notice what happened though? This is the drawback with this particular shot. The 6, the 10, and the 2 were all over here open for this pocket. If I had hit this softer, the cue and drawn the cue ball, let's say to center table, those 3 balls would be over here and the rack would be much more open. Because I hit it that hard, those 3 balls went to the rail and went back and clustered up. So that's the disadvantage with this type of break shot. It's because, now this rack isn't anywhere near as clustered as the previous one, but it's still somewhat of a clustered rack. I've got a really good opportunity because I can shoot this ball. It's real close to the pocket, and then I'll have a shot on this ball here, and I'm in business. But I'm having an off night, and I chunk this right into the rail, which is horrible. Yeah, terrible. But as an example of the same principle that I was talking about before, and I go back and set this up and run it out. But I shoot this really quick, so we'll just let it play. So I'm going to pocket this 8 ball. Is that the 4? Whichever one that is. Okay, that's shot 1. How many shots does it take to get the rack open?
Well, that's
Now, the
little
only shot
mistake.
here
That's all it
with
takes.
this 7 is just ease it in. The cue ball's going to hit this stripe and push it this way. And I'll have a shot on these balls in multiple directions. Okay, that's shot number 2. Now, what would you do here? I think a lot of players are going to come over here and shoot this 9 ball. Oh, let me pause this real quick. Yeah. A lot of people are going to come over here and shoot this 9 ball because, wow, it's a super easy shot. I'm straight in, blah, blah, blah. Well, what are you going to shoot next? There's a shooting gallery here. These 4 balls that go over here, or 3, at least 3. So the 9 ball is a mistake because that could be a good break ball. This ball is just as easy of a shot in the side pocket, and it allows me to get my cue ball over here where there's a shooting gallery. I'll be able to shoot the 2 or the 14 or the 12. So shooting the 9 ball is absolutely a mistake 100% of the time in this instance. I'm trying to open the rack. I'm addressing the problem. The problem is this cluster in the middle. I want to leave the 10 and the 9 potential break balls. Okay, so move the cue ball over here. And I think I'm going to shoot the 14. I'm pretty much a parallel angle on that. This is the aggressive way to shoot this. You can pick around these balls without running into them. But I decided to run into them because I'm playing kind of aggressive and wild on this day. And that was 4 shots. That's the most you're ever going to need. 4 shots. If you're playing, if you see what I'm talking about, the re-break situation, getting the balls open, 1 to 4 shots. So these are 2 consecutive racks that show that idea. There's also an excellent end pattern here. Now, notice there 4 shots it took, so there's 5 balls gone, the break shot, plus the 4 to completely open the rack. So there's 10 balls on the table. So do you see the end pattern? Because it's already staring you in the face. You don't want to wait. You don't have to wait until there's 4 or 5 balls left to get an end pattern. There's an end pattern right here. And there's variations of it, but the general pattern you want to see. So in this case, I'm going to use the 9 ball. I would love for the 5 to be over here as a key ball, but this is fine because a lot of angles on that 5, you can just tap it in the side pocket, go to the rail, and come out here for your break shot, okay? So this is process of elimination. Break shot, key ball. Where's your K2? Diagonal from the key ball. Where's that? Oop, right there. The 13 or the 2 can be K2 balls, either one of them, to set you up for this ball. The 10 could also be, because any kind of a shot on the 10, you can go to the rail or float down to the bottom rail or the side rail and get over here to get on that ball on the side. I got some good spaghetti going there, don't I? Okay, so process of elimination. Those 2 balls are eliminated, and then one of these 2 balls are eliminated, right? How do I get on this ball? One of these balls, because look, boom. Stop shot, stop shot, stop shot. That's what we want for our end patterns. When you have 10 balls on the table, you're going to have more options to find that pattern. There it is. Stop shot, 3 stop shots to get on the break ball. Okay, so process of elimination. 1, 2, 3, and then one of these balls. Let's say this one. So that's 4 out of 10 balls gone. That's half of the balls on the table are gone. How am I going to get position on this one? How about the 6? Stop shot, stop shot, stop shot, stop shot. 5 balls. So we're seeing our end pattern. So now, process of elimination, what balls do we need to deal with? 15, 2, and these 2 balls on the side. So I'm going to shoot the 15 because I can get on the 2 easily. It's just right there. Then get position on the 10. And here's the shot line to the 10. So I want to come on this side of the shot line so I can slide the cue ball over here and get position on those balls. There's spaghettification number 2. Let's let it play. Now, there's lots of ways to get there. That's just how it happened to work out. But the idea, the concept of finding the end pattern in amongst the remaining 10 balls. Look how fast I'm shooting. It's just right there. Now, I played position for the 10 and the 13 there because I didn't quite have it figured out. But it took me 2 seconds to notice that I had the angle to come over here. I could shoot the 12 and roll forward and then shoot the 3 and draw back from the 3 here. I choose to shoot the 3. The 12 ball shot line is here. I'm on this side of the shot line to slide over there. So if look how fast I'm shooting. This is not how you shoot, but the idea is, look at this. Stop shot, stop, 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 stop. That's what you want for your end pattern. If you get the balls open and you can see the pattern, process of elimination tells you which balls to shoot first so that you have this end pattern. Now, I say stop shot. They don't necessarily have to be stop shot. Like now I'm just bouncing the 6 ball off the rail. But how hard is that? It's right there. The ball, it's the position's automatic. Stop shot on the 1, or you can bounce off the rail. And I'm shooting very lazy. And so I just went way too far. But you get the idea. I think you get the idea. How many shots does it take to open up the rack? 1 to 4. If the rack's open, you're going to have 12 to 10 balls left. And at that point, find the balls, the 4, 3, 4, 5, even 6 shots in a row that are stop shots that lead naturally. One leads naturally to the next, to the next, to the next. That's how you're going to get high runs in straight pool. Hope you liked that. Hope you enjoyed that. Go have a Tootsie Pop to celebrate. Remember, if you're going to play straight pool, play it straight. See you next week on Rack of the Week. Bye.